Starting off part 4, the British have the city of Rome under siege. Can they take it, or will the Romans be able to get here in time and save the day? I think the British could do it here. Right here they could take Rome, and as I said in the rest of the series, if Rome falls, then the two other Roman powers are free to start the civil war. I don't know if they do, I think it's more the alliance breaks and they can start the war, but I don't know if they always do. But yeah, that would be really interesting to see. That would be a very early civil war out of the weirdest of reasons. This is actually one of the worst campaigns, AI only wise, that Rome has ever had. Imagine if this happened in a Let's Play. Imagine you were playing as a Brutii, you know, just doing your own thing over here, and then all of a sudden you just look on this side of the map, the Julii are dead, and the city of Rome itself is under siege. How would you respond to that if something like this happened in a Let's Play? Weird. Of course it's AI only. AI onlys do mess it up slightly, the AI. That's why we have the super overpowered Pope, or the Papal States in Medieval 2. And, you know, some things do happen that would very rarely happen in a Let's Play because of just how the coding works of the AI. But, yeah, still, imagine this. So weird. Who knows, the Romans might hold out though. They might still do it. The Macedonians and the Dacians are now at war. That could be an interesting border, although Macedon is going to get destroyed by the Romans as it is, so it's more like Dacia just trying to take a few final pieces of land from the Macedonians before the Romans get their hands on it, preparing for the future. And, ooh, they've got this settlement under siege as well. Actually, if they take this, which they probably will, then Scythia will be down to their final settlement. Well done to Armenia for being able to take this settlement and also moving up north and taking Campus Alani. They could probably take this Parthian settlement at some time. Armenia is doing very well. The faction that surprises me most is not the British taking the Romans. It's actually Armenia having an empire this large. That's what surprises me most. The Seleucids, of course, always do terrible, but the fact that they're doing well is surprising, but we've seen this happen before in some of the time lapses, so it's not too surprising. That's happened before. But this, the Armenian Empire and the fall of Rome, potentially, quite big. And by the way, you know, the Romans are not interested. They're not crossing the border. They're not going to help at all, I don't think. And even if the British do fail, the Germans are just right behind them, ready to swoop in and take it. Boom. Rome has fallen. Oh wow, I actually really cannot believe this. This has happened once before, and that's why I know it starts a civil war. But still, I did not expect it to happen in this campaign. I was expecting just a very standard campaign, but no. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so how's the diplomacy looking? That's just rebel stuff. Okay, so they are still allied now, but what this means is now the Roman factions that are left, the Brutii and the Scipii, can go to war with each other whenever they want to. They don't have to wait until they get the settlement limit, they can go to war. Usually, from what I see, this happens very early on, so, you know, in this episode, the civil war could definitely begin. I'm a little bit confused with how it works, you know, I've only had one game to really test it out, but this is how I think. This is what I think happens. If it was to happen though, who would win? I would say the Brutii would eventually take over Scipii territories. Yeah, I think the Brutii should definitely be able to handle it. And what's going to happen to northern Italy? Is it going to remain in barbarian hands? Or will the Brutii or Scipii or something be able to retake it? Who knows? If anyone is wondering, the British moved their capital to Alesia. That does of course make sense given their empire. The Scipii moved their capital to Messana. The Brutii have moved their capital weirdly to Apollonia. I'd thought they'd have gone for wealthy settlements such as either Thessalonica or Athens, but I'm sure they'll change it once these are no longer frontline settlements. And the Seleucid Empire moved their capital slightly further south, from Antioch to Sidon. I could go through all of them, but, you know, what's the point? The Dacians took Tanais from Scythia, leaving Scythia with only one settlement left. But they also lost a settlement to Thrace, who are trying to make a comeback, but I cannot imagine it happening. And there's a ceasefire between Thrace and Dacia. Okay, so we've found one form of deal. And Scythia is done. Dacia took the final settlement. Dacia's looking quite good, although the lands are very, big lands. It takes a while to get your troops from one side to the other, so I can't see them going too much further, Dacia. Maybe they'll take these Thracian territories, but I think eventually the Germans, maybe even the Armenians, but definitely the Romans will also start taking them down. Eventually. Maybe not, maybe we'll see a Dacian empire rise up, but that never happens. The Seleucid Empire is ready to strike. That's a lot of soldiers they have there. Modern Greece is now occupied by the Brutii. Macedon is down to their final 2 settlements, I think. 3 settlements 3 settlements for the island. But they've got the Dacians, the Romans, and I think the Germans took that from them, or they might have taken it from the Brutii. But the fact that the Germans are getting down here and involved in Greece, it's quite good. They're moving on Salona now with a lot of troops. But most importantly, Rome's original capital, well, the Brutii's original capital, Tarentum, is under siege by a massive German army. And I think they could take it here, which would be very good for the Germans. Having this coast here would be very good for them. And if the British take this side of Italy, that would be such that would be so beautiful to see the AI share Italy like that, straight down the middle. Teamwork. That's what the barbarians are about. Teamwork. But sadly they forced the Germans back, and they did it here as well. But they actually fought the Germans, and yeah, they did really well against them here. They pushed them back on all fronts. The British are not done yet. After taking Rome, they've continued. They've now taken Capua from the Scipii. I doubt they're going to cross the seas and take Sicily. I think they're done against the Romans right now. Maybe they'll go for the Brutii, but I don't think they're going to go for Sicily. I don't think the British AI is smart enough to work the Mediterranean Sea. It seems like the Scipii are interested in Carthage, but are they allied to Numidia or not? Let's just quickly check. Yeah, they are allied, so they're probably going to work together, and one of these factions is going to take the city of Carthage, I think. That's if they do attack. I don't know. They probably won't, knowing the AI. Macedon, desperate. Oh no, that's actually Armenia putting them under siege. Yeah, Pontus could actually die this turn. Armenia has their 2 final settlements under siege. They of course took one of their settlements over here. I didn't bother mentioning that, but they could destroy them this turn. They'll have Macedon helping them here. They'll have reinforcements over here. I think that's it for Pontus. And the Brutii took Byzantium. Macedon is now down to their final settlement, and it's an island settlement. They're down to Rhodes, and that's it. So, and it looks like the Egyptians are going to get them here. So I think that's the end of Macedon. If Egypt take this settlement, that will be it for them. They've got one army here, I think, desperately trying to take some final land to start a new homeland, but I cannot imagine they'll do it, because they'll have to fight through Armenia, who, actually lost in their attempt to take Sinope, but they should take this one. And they should eventually take this settlement as well, eventually. The reason I think the Romans have not gone to war with each other yet is they don't need to. It's like the Brutii is not going to be able to make it over to Sicily and North Africa yet. Oh, Carthage fell. Sorry, I didn't see that. But yeah, what I was saying was, they don't need to. They've got their own problems right now, so that's probably why the Civil War has not started. They're just going to keep the alliance going. Well done, of course, to the Scipii. They've now got quite a good foothold in North Africa. They're probably going to keep on going, I'm guessing. Actually, Carthage, are they down to their final? They're down to their final 2 settlements. And the British still seem interested in Iberia, although they haven't taken any land yet. Seems like there have been a few battles and the British have come out on top, but still no land has fallen. Another faction has been destroyed. Thrace. Well done to Dacia for taking another settlement. And ceasefire between Macedon and Dacia. Yeah, nothing. I've still got this settlement here under siege. I'm guessing they lost the first attack or pulled back and put it under siege again. Egypt have not attacked the Macedonian final settlement yet, so Macedon are going to survive for now. These armies are slowly making their way across Africa. Hopefully they can get there before the game ends. There's still 200 turns left. They should be fine. Just under 200 turns. Seems like the Scipii are interested in destroying Carthage. And the British are interested in the Brutii. They're trying to take Croton now. They probably won't be able to take it, but you know, they're showing interest. They're going to send more troops over time, and eventually I think they could take these 2 Italian settlements. Where will they go next? I think they'll probably either go fully into Iberia and destroy all those, or for the Germans. Which, going for the Germans could be a bad move for them. Maybe not, who knows. Okay, so the Germans have no garrison here, but they're under siege. Can the Brutii take this? I think they should be okay. I cannot imagine the Germans winning without any soldiers. Of course they were able to take it, but the Germans still coming down with a lot of soldiers. The Germans outnumber the Brutii, but the Brutii armies are better because it's post-Marian units, so I think the Brutii will beat the Germans eventually, but if the Dacians get involved, then maybe not. Of course, Armenia finally took this settlement here, and they've got this settlement under siege now. Pontus should be done very soon. I don't know how they've managed to survive this long, but they should be done. And yet, Dacia's getting involved. They've gone to war with the Brutii, they've put this settlement under siege, and all of a sudden for the Brutii, it's not looking so good. They were fighting back for Germans, but now the Dacians are involved. I think the Brutii still will win because it's the Brutii, they always win. Most of the time. But still, it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to slow them down. And right now, there's only 200 turns left of the campaign. They need to make a move. You'll be surprised how much can happen in 200 turns. The Dacians are expanding. They've taken this settlement here, and now they're moving into Greece, along with the help from the Germans. Although the Germans, they seem to have pulled back a little bit. The Brutii have all their troops here. The way's mostly open for Dacia, and the Germans are struggling with all the hard work. Alright, come on Britain, you should be able to do it now. 2 full stacks. Although the Brutii have more troops down here, so it will still be difficult, but come on, now they should be able to do it. Just play it right, and look at the stars on this general here. Like, all those stars. He's a good general. And as it's all auto-resolve, you know, this guy, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Because, you know, all the stars help with the auto-resolve. And there it goes. Croton has fallen to the British. If the British pull all the troops together, they should be able to also take Tarentum as well. And they instantly put it under siege the next turn. We've got 2 full stacks here. Yeah, I think they should be able to take that. And they've got reinforcements as well. Yeah, that should be fine. And they're done. Pontus has been destroyed. Well done to Armenia. Like, at the start of this episode, this was the largest they've ever been. But in this episode alone, they've taken like 4, 5, maybe even 6 settlements. I lost count. But yeah, Armenia is having such a good game. They might even pose a threat to the Seleucid Empire, because the Seleucids, they've got all their troops all the way down here doing nothing. They could potentially take all these, this Turkish land here, this land here as well. They could do it. What's their position like with them? They are, oh, they're allied. Maybe not then. Maybe it won't happen. But where are they going to go next? Because a faction always has got to go in a certain direction. They're allied with Dacia as well, so they might go for, yeah, they're going for Parthia, but they're probably going to take that. So they've either done a break their alliance with Dacia and go for them, or the Seleucid Empire. I hope they go for the Seleucid Empire. That will be the better option for them, I think. But yeah, it's just so strange to see an overpowered Armenia. This is what surprises me the most. It's not what's going on in Italy right now. It's not the fact that the British have finally taken an Iberian settlement of Ostia and are still pushing through. Like, this of course surprises me, obviously, but this surprises me the most. Armenia doing something. Come on, Armenia, I want to see them win it right now. I want to see Armenia get the win. That would be brilliant. Oh, the Armenians in it are so bloodthirsty. They destroyed Parthia. Well done, Armenia. Well done. Keep on going. I'll be keeping an eye on them to see where they go next. Meanwhile, in Italy, it seems like the British lost a couple of battles and had to pull out. Maybe the Brutii brought troops over the waters. I don't know, but yeah, they had to retreat. The Germans, of course, had to pull back a little bit as well. The Dacians are now on the defensive, I think. Yes, so you need to be aggressive on the Romans. Otherwise, if you give them time, they'll build up and destroy. So I still think the Brutii can do it, and I know it looks bad, but they have the best troops right now that it's for Marian reform units. If you can just organise the troops and make a big push, they could take back all of Italy. I've seen it happen before. They've done it before. The Scipii also do have a potential, but you know it's weirder for them because they're fighting in Africa. These are quite big territories to cross, so it takes them a very long time, and they've taken enough time as it is in Sicily. So I don't know what the Scipii are going to do, but they have potential to make some epic comeback. But I doubt it. The Brutii, on the other hand, still very high chance. The British, although struggling now against the Brutii, have turned their attention over this way and have managed to take Carthago Nova from the Iberians. The British Empire is looking really good right now, and I like how they're connected them to the coast as well. Like they're building a Mediterranean empire in a way. I like it. Oh no, this all literally happened in the same turn. The Seleucid Empire took Hatra and Nicomedia here from Armenia. The two are at war. I didn't actually get a notification of that, which is annoying how it doesn't do that at times, but yeah, they're at war now. I think it was the Seleucid Empire who declared it. Armenia, where are the troops? I think they were moving up north to Dacia or something. I don't know. But yeah, the Seleucid Empire declared war on them. I think the Seleucid Empire... No, Armenia did manage to take Seleucia, but I think the Seleucids now have it back under siege again. And we're bringing all the troops up north. Armenia, they were a beautiful empire whilst they lived, but I think it's all gonna collapse now. The Seleucid Empire have had enough of these mountainers in the north. Mountainers? Well, they're in the mountains, so yeah, I'm gonna call them mountainers. I don't know. And now they're gonna take the land for themselves. Oh, I all of a sudden hate the Seleucid Empire for doing this. To the biggest underdog faction in the game is what Armenia is, basically, from what I see anyway. And the fact that the Seleucid Empire are doing this to them is horrible to see. Maybe Armenia might make the comeback, but I can't doubt it. Meanwhile, of course, the Brutii are making a push on Dacia now. They're going to probably take that settlement. They should take this one eventually, once they get some troops organised. The Germans are really heavily defending over here. But the British have Tarentum under siege. If the Brutii bring this army down, I don't think it will be enough, but still, I'll keep an eye on it, see what happens. And let's see what's happening in Iberia. So, aha! Corduba is under siege by the British, and we've got more troops crossing the border. There's some... it's a real rise and fall in this episode. Of course, the Brutii took it, but can they hold on to it? And with all those Dacians there, I really doubt it. That's a lot of troops. Going back to the Armenia-Seleucia front, of course they lost another settlement, and actually they lost Seleucia as well. Susa's cut off now, they're going to lose that eventually. Armenia, what can they do at this point? They need soldiers, but I can't really see any soldiers. I've got some stuff here, but yeah, they're just outnumbered. Of course, they had a lot of settlements, but these mountain settlements, they're not good economically. So, of course, they couldn't afford all the massive troops. Whereas the Seleucid Empire, they've got all this land here. They've got wonders as well. That's always a big help. Well done to the British for taking Corduba. Oh, this settlement's undefended. It's a shame they can't get a unit over here quickly. Yeah, Spanish, of course, they've grouped up all their soldiers together and they're making a push on the British. A final last stand by the Spanish. They've of course got their capital under siege right now, Numantia, former Gallic settlement. They should be able to save this one, but eventually I think the Spanish will fall to the British. And the Romans held out again. Tarentum will never fall. It'll be always a foothold in Italy. In a way, this episode has been both sad and epic. What we've seen is the barbarians destroy civilization. The Romans have mostly fallen. Not fallen, but been kicked out of Italy, we'll say. Rome itself has fallen. The Romans are, of course, still going, and are still quite strong, and will probably come to dominate eventually. But, you know, it's a big setback for them. The rise of the British barbarians as well it's quite epic to see, and how they've taken the coast. The sad thing is, of course, Armenia. The most underdog faction of them all is crumbling. They rose to their peak in this episode, and at the same time, they lost almost everything. Armenia, I think, is done, and the Seleucids took it all for themselves. It's usually at this point here where, from what I see from the time-lapse, is that the empires are made and the Great Collision begins. The Great Empires, for example, are now the Seleucid Empire. I'll say the Brutii are still in there, the British, and the Germans and the Dacians, of course. All the small weak ones have been wiped out, and it's going to be one final stand. There's only going to be 3 more episodes left, and in those 3 episodes I'm sure we'll see these empires collide, like the big ones. The British-German front will become hot, and there'll be so much death on that side. The Dacians are either going to win or get destroyed by the Romans. And what will happen to the Seleucid Empire? Of course, yep, they're going to take Armenia and build a big empire, but will it be big enough by turn 100 BC? Or will there be another bigger faction to rival it? Hope you've enjoyed part 4. Please do subscribe. Hope to see you in part 5. I haven't actually uploaded part 1 yet, so hopefully this AI-only campaign is going well. I do hope you're enjoying it. I'm sure it will do well, but... Of course, if you're enjoying the series so far as well and know someone else who will be enjoying this, do please feel free to share it with a friend or something, or if you know a Discord where, you know, you're allowed to share Total War related stuff, then please do it there as well. Everything like that does help me grow and makes this sort of stuff worthwhile for me, and it makes it easy, and it makes me want to continue doing it as well. Either way, hope you've enjoyed, and goodbye.